We are live.
Oh, yeah, there you go. And at least, hey, look, it's an improvement on last week, Deej. It didn't immediately kick you out and then reboot itself. So that's
why we're
progress.
literally 14 seconds in.
It didn't take 14 seconds to kick you out last week. We're
know.
already in rarefied air, Deej.
Tippy toes. Let's tippy toe. Like when I enter the water, I jump in, right? Diving board, whatever it is. There's no wading in. You just jump in. But this technology, we are tippy toeing down the old people stairs into the water.
Hey, you speak for yourself. I like to think I'm in my prime.
Yeah, well,
Amazon Prime.
How bad was your youth?
Oh, yeah, exactly. That's a good
this
question.
is your prime. Holy cow.
No comment.
No, that's a funny thing. That me growing up, I never played hockey growing up. And I literally, like when I started coaching Joe, I kept ramped it up. And that was in my 30s, and I'm learning stuff that I didn't even know what terms were, because now I'm coaching, and then because I never got coached, everything I did I taught myself. So I ramped it up, and people were telling me like into my late 30s is kind of 30s into my 40s is where I peaked hockey skill wise. And at that point, people that like the skill level I was playing at was people were like, wow, you must have been awesome in college. Like, what division did you play? Division I? Because I was playing at a level of Division I players that fell off a cliff. So they were like, nobody could imagine, like, this is my peak. It's like, wee.
Yeah, like, this is my apex.
Yeah. No, like, how bad was your youth? Bad.
Yes,
really bad.
Even more trips to A&E.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Oh God!
Oh, but there we go. How's your week been, Deej? How's it been?
Very, very busy. Very busy. Almost didn't get movies in.
Okay.
I like crammed for the finals yesterday into today, if you will. I got a few good ones in. I got one in today that giving 2 thumbs down. It's all good. So good. If you remember.
Or no thumbs at all.
Or no, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yes, cool. Yeah, no, I do. I remember.
Yeah. And then I have another one that was inspired by a conversation from Mother's Day dinner. So I took that in yesterday. We'll talk about that. And what was the other one? What was the other one that I have that I forgot that I took? Oh, one that you took in. I took in, I'm interested. That should be a fun conversation. The,
any clues?
Baseball themed.
Okay. Now you lost me completely. I don't think I know.
Yeah.
Bat. Yeah. Oh, yes. Sorry. Yeah. I'm just looking at it now. Oh, man. Yeah. Real surprise for me, that one. Real surprise. That came out of nowhere.
We'll talk about when we get there, because I don't want to give it away. I'm trying to tease me. I don't know why, I wasn't surprised when I saw who the director was. I was up until then. When I found out who that was, I was like, oh my God, his movies are awesome. So, but yeah.
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Yeah, it was great. I was caught. Oops. I was very pleasantly surprised. Caught by surprise, as it were.
Yeah. There you go.
So, very good.
Here's a great question from Mikey. This is a great question. I saw this, okay? And this is why I'm bringing it up. So Mike Schramm in the chat saying, anyone besides me going to see Top Gun tomorrow? I thought of it, and they're doing double features everywhere where you go Top Gun and then Maverick right after. See it in IMAX, see it in a big screen again. Dolby Cinema has it locally. I saw it, and I was like, oh, man, it's supposed to rain here on Thursday, and maybe I could get it in. I don't know. And then I was like, it seems like a great idea. And then I was like, I have seen both these movies so many times that for me to truck the hour to a Dolby Cinema to see these, I am telling, and I'm not trying, like, if you can do it, great. I think my theater, even this theater, my screening room, this screening room is better, with the bass response and everything. The details that I can see are so much better than going. It's like, and it got me to thinking. That's why I jumped right on as soon as Mikey said something. I'm like, it got me to thinking. I'm like, this whole thing is for people that really haven't experienced Top Gun or Maverick the way we have since last time it was in theaters, right? And I think for us, and it's like, Mikey, report back if you're going to see it. Let me know, because you might come back and be like, yep, kind of like at home. Just more expensive popcorn. It's like,
yeah. I mean, it's rare for me, although for reasons I become more common, but at the moment it's very rare for me to go to watch, an older movie in the theaters. I prefer, as everybody knows, I prefer to see the stuff at home anyway. I don't quite get the, see a movie that's 30, 40, 50 years old on the big screen. You're like, yeah, but I'd rather see it on my screen. That's the thing. So I'm very skeptical of it. Even in IMAX, I'm not that fussed. I personally, just not for me. I'd much rather see it at home. Although, as I say, for reasons I'll explain later, some of that might change moving forward. But yeah, so yeah, we shall see.
Because it's like, think about it though. Like, you see a movie in the theater, right? And you can't wait to get it at home, right? When have you seen something at home and been like, I gotta get that in the theater?
Yeah, almost never.
Really? No, you actually, like, if it's like Prey, nobody said I need to go to the theater to see that. You just wanted it physical so you could have a better version at home. And it's like, that's why I think it's just, and I get it if you're going with a bunch of people, or you're going for the nostalgia of seeing it, or somebody like Mikey. Mikey probably never saw Top Gun in the theater ever, right? I did. And it's like, but even still, it's like, it's just, yeah.
I mean, I again, look, I mean, I always think, Prey in particular, funny enough, the first Mortal Kombat, Godzilla X Kong during COVID, when they were releasing them at home first. I mean, I was like, okay, works for me. And again,
Dune.
as you said, Dune.
Dune was, I'm not going to I never saw Dune in the theater. I have zero desire to.
Yeah.
Zero. Because, it really is. All I'm going to do is be like, it just isn't as good as home. Yeah. And I'm running the risk of lit sneakers running across the stage. If anybody remembers that story.
But also, you think, again, as you say, cost of the ticket, cost of the popcorn, cost of the parking, the faff of having to find, get there and all that. I mean, no one was happier than me. I mean, it was one of the few positives of COVID, all that era anyway, lockdown, was these movies at home, day and day. I've said before, you release these movies from now on, day and date at home. I'll never go to commercial cinema again, and I will not feel like I've missed anything. And again, the numbers, the number of movies are endless. Look at, again, Begonia. That would have been ruined in a theater with a lot of people in there. Movies that require engagement are much better at home if you're lucky like we are. And again, we are lucky to have what we have. But if you do have that, or you've got access to it somewhat other way, then I don't know why you'd, careful how I said, truck to a local cinema when you can just kind of see it at home in the environment that you want. It's always got to be better, surely. Apart from some exceptions, which I'll talk about later. I just definitely better.
Oh yeah. I actually had an idea today about, I already said thumbs down, but Project Hail Mary dropped today. I have been dying for that. And that's the latest movie to be delayed. It's an Amazon property, MGM/Amazon property. It was supposed to have been out, over a month ago, I think, right? And it got delayed because it was so successful in the theater. And I'm like driving to work this morning when I saw that it dropped today. No warning, no preview, no nothing. Just you wake up, you look, and it's like, it's there. I was like, on Kaleidoscape, I'm like, I bought it, downloaded it, and I'm like, I gotta get my work done and get home and watch this before the show. Johnny Speakers texted me and he's like, I know what you're watching today. I'm like, oh yeah. So I can't wait to tell everybody about it. But what got me to thinking about it is this was delayed. I'm like, what if, and it was it's $35, $34.99 on Kaleidoscape, which is a weird price because typically they're $24 or $39. So MGM, Amazon sets it at $35, but it's the same price as if you bought it on Amazon, right? You can buy it digitally on Amazon right now, $34.99, or rent it for $24.99. and Joe, my son, is actually going to buy it. And like you were saying earlier, it's not even due out until July or August. So Amazon is going to be making their money, on the stream, on the digital download. And then once that peters out, they'll release the physical release, right? That makes sense, business model wise. What if, and somebody like Kaleidoscape would be somebody that you could do it with, because everything's proprietary. There's no way to export it off of there. And I'm not kidding. It's like if they offered when it was supposed to be out, or like kind of like not a Half-Life, but like early release, like it's not digital, it's not anything. If they had offered this a month ago for $100 and told you it's not due out, I would have been like, take my money, my money, right? You're getting an exclusive. And I literally want to contact Kaleidoscape and be like, offer it to the studios. It's just money, right? It's just like, and excited people, like, imagine how much money they could have made with Maverick doing something like that, an exclusive, like, and you create an exclusive badge, and it's like, I'm dying for it. And I can't be the only one that's like that. And it's like, it's going to come out anyways. So what's the harm?
Yeah. Sorry, go on, Dave. Sorry.
No. Go ahead. Please stop me.
I do agree. And I would be that person too. I mean, obviously not with Kaleidoscape, I haven't got one, but if it was offered to me via a digital stream, for instance, day and date, and they said you can spend £25, going to see a theater, or you can have it at home for 50, then literally double the price. I'd be like, okay, sold. Okay, fine, I'll do that. And more, I think I probably would. But I suppose they would argue, and again, we need John Thompson for this, don't we? Because he's the expert in terms of the financials. But I suspect they will say that is going to then cannibalize the theatrical numbers. And it seems to be that's where they get there. That's the headline, isn't it? It's done really well opening weekend, and I suppose they don't want, although I appreciate, we barely register, but I'm sure that they don't want anything cannibalizing that number.
Correct.
And that's going to be because of shareholders and publicity and marketing, and that's the reason they release movies on Wednesdays, so they have a huge opening weekend. That's the whole point.
When they do Tuesdays here,
but that's why they release like like most times the theatrical releases are Friday. But sometimes they'll release them on a Wednesday, and they do it on a Wednesday so they can say, look at how big
it's a holiday weekend. They'll be like weekend sales. Wednesday to Monday.
Exactly that. And that's all about headline. Right. Look how much we made. And so I'm sure that they're like, anything that cannibalizes that is a no-go.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. Hell yeah. Look, studios, if you're listening, by all means.
I would be willing to, like, I even was thinking, like, spitballing, because I thought the same thing. I'm like, what if it's like, proof of purchase, or you'd be like, I've seen it 3 times in the theater. I'm dying to get this at home. I'm not it's not a risk. And to your point that you made earlier, it's like, it's such a small percentage, it's not going to cannibalize something like that, because how many people would be willing to pay that much money in the first place and experience it the way we do? It's not a lot, right? It already does exist, but it's a completely different exclusive system that's like, tens of thousands of dollars. And then it's literally like, I want to say it's like $5,000 for the movie itself.
Yeah, well, quite.
And you get a day and date in the theater that way. It's like that. The billionaires get that, and it's like, it's nothing to them. And it's like their theaters are, probably 50 people's theaters in their homes, something like that.
Well, this is the thing. I suppose they would also say, well, okay, so $100 for the movie, but if you invite 10 people round that would have spent $25 each on a ticket, and they watch it at home, then suddenly that money's gone from the exhibitors. It's gone from, you make yourself your own mini exhibitor, don't you? And I suppose that will be their argument as well. But I don't agree with it, but that will be their argument.
Jordan saying in the chat, if studios did do that, they'd have to make agreements with the actors to do that. Look at the issue Disney had with Scarlett Johansson regarding Black Widow with the Disney Plus Premium Access release.
Yeah, that's the back end points, isn't it?
That's the back end. But that's where, like, and I mean, it's a great point, but at the same time, it's like, all right, so Project Hail Mary dropped today, $35. I paid. anybody buying on Amazon is paying $35. If they released this for, $70 a month ago, they doubled their money on my purchase that I would have made today anyways, and that would go towards it. So the actors, it's a way to make more money off of the people that would already be buying it anyways. And especially in a Kaleidoscape situation where it's already proprietary, it can't be exported off and sold or anything like that. So you already have an inherent, safety feature right there. And now it's like, okay. And that clientele will be like, all right, you get the enthusiasts that are like, I'm dying to get it early. Boom. Charge a premium. If you don't want it, don't pay. But if you do, you're getting double. The studio would be getting double the money. There's really no harm, and only more money for them and less for us.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I'm with you. If we can have that works for me. As I said, and I mean, Jordan's saying he was lucky enough to see Godzilla X Kong and June. Let me just bring that up. Yeah. So he got to see Godzilla versus Kong and June Part 1 in 3D at his local cinema despite the pandemic, which is fair enough. But I can vividly recall it was Godzilla versus Kong, not X Kong. That was the most recent one, wasn't it? Yeah. So Godzilla versus Kong, I remember it dropped on a Saturday morning, or at least I had a Saturday morning, and we did a premiere in Cinema George with popcorn and, drinks in the Cinema George cups and made a real fuss of it. And that was a lot of fun. And I had a great time doing that. And again, and with the room rocking, and I'd rather have that than going to see it at theaters if I could with every movie. That would work for me. Oh, yeah. But there it is. We can but ask and can but hope.
I know. I mean, what's the harm in asking, right?
Yeah, there you go. Don't ask, don't get. But there we go. All right, should we start the show then, Deej? And then I can say hi to everyone in the chat properly, and then we'll we
have a subject to talk about. We have a little we have an article brought to us by a listener today that we'll have a quick discussion on. So, but yeah, let me see. Where's the thing?
We are Brightside Theater.
Hey, home theater nerds, welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast. The Home Theater Podcast, wow. Let me start over. That was bad. What happened? I'm multitasking. Mm-hmm. I was setting pictures up.
Multi-award winning.
Yeah, and I missed everything because I had to get John's audio here ready. So, but yeah, so let's see. Where is that? Where is where did it go? Nope, that's not it. Nope, that's not it. Oh my God. All right, let's start again. All right.
And
yeah. Oh, see, now oh God. All right. Do I have to run the
music? Too eager. Come on, wait for the go. And
yeah. Action. All right. And action. I can't now. Now I feel like John when he's trying to do the disclaimer. You remember that outtake? Oh my God. All right. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Hey, home theater nerds. Welcome to the Brightside Home Theater Podcast, the multi-award-winning giving and receiving home theater podcast. It's all about the experiences, the sights,
the sounds,
the scenes.
Yeah,
my line's easier, Peach. Yeah, I never miss my one. Mine's easier,
Yeah, you miss your mark.
Yeah, and take 3. So here we are. Right, let me say hi to everyone in the chat then, Deej. Let's do that.
Yes, let's do that.
Then let's talk our legal shenanigans.
Yeah.
Right. So first in was someone called Brightside HT with 2 thumbs down.
It shouldn't have been me. I was replying to people.
Okay. All right. Well, it's reset again. It's done its thing again. Well, I tell you what, let's do that. There we go. So then Steve Att was in saying no one here either. One on Steve. I'm glad you're in the chat though. And then Mikey's in. Hey, Mikey. We know he's still in. Paul Hurt's in. Hey, Paul. Dom's in as well, saying bonsoir. But I think he may have already checked out because he's off to a theme park with his wife and children tomorrow for a couple of days, so might tune in at the end. But does say he saw The Housemaid on 4K, and it was a very fun movie. Didn't see the twists and turns coming. Good stuff. Glad you enjoyed it, Dom.
Yeah.
Good man. And Rach is in. Hey, Rach. Johnny Speakers is in as well. Hey, Johnny. How you doing, buddy?
Johnny.
And we have got Jordan's in, as we know. Hey, Jordan.
Hey, Jordan.
And Jay Van Gool's in. Hey, Jay. Nice to see you, bud. And then we've got this now, and then we have a Pixel Ray Ted. I think that's new. If you are Pixel Ray, nice to see you.
Nice.
Saying this says, hey, Steve, is there anything we could do to get John Thompson set up with a proper microphone? I enjoy his stories, but not so much the audio quality. He's the expert.
Yeah.
Pixel Ray. We're not going to tell him things like that.
Yeah.
Well, he's forgotten more about microphones than we'll ever know.
So, yeah. I'll tell you something. It's like, well, and I've said this to a lot of people that have been on the show that have done Takeover Tuesdays. From listeners to professionals, experts or whatever. I always say it's not about the audio quality. It's the topic. It's the content. Yeah. That's what you're looking for. And I will tell you this about John, that last one that we did, him and I had a back and forth, and I was like, hey, let's stop. Because a week earlier, him and I had like a 2-3 hour conversation just off the cuff. And we're like, every time we hang up the phone, we're like, we should have recorded this. So this one here in particular, we were talking, and I'm like, let's do a show. And he was gracious enough to do it. And he has the 5-hour time difference. And I'm not kidding you. He did that one from bed. It was like 1 a.m. to him when we did that show. And it was like, all right, we got to, and I'm like, are you sure? And it's like, yeah, because it's funny because he'll ask me, he goes, are we doing audio? Are we doing video? And I'm like, nope. Only the audio goes out. And he's like, okay. So he was cool with it. And he goes, let's do it. So yeah, he could probably get an incredible setup, but I don't require it. And I actually appreciate it for somebody like John, because then when listeners come on, they don't feel bad if their audio doesn't have to be pristine. Right. And it's like, it makes it a level playing field, and it's not about the audio quality. It's about the conversation. So
fair enough. And
but I do appreciate that people like good audio quality. So
it's all good. We I need to speak. Having listened to that, I need to speak to him about speaking to his friend Paul W. Anderson, because I want my copy of Event Horizon autographed. And I want to know about all the deleted scenes from that as well. I didn't realize he knew him, and now I know he knows him. And that's it. I'm going to be. I need to speak to that guy. I want Event Horizon autographed, as I said, and I want to know all about the hour-long, ultra gory footage that has disappeared. That is gone.
Yeah,
find it. So I need to speak to John and get the meeting set up. I could talk to him forever. Anyway, sorry. So John Mensel's in as well. Hey, John. How you doing, bud? Sorry. Yeah. I waited for a while.
John.
Very, very, very patient.
Talk to him
Holger's
today.
in as well. Hey, Holger. Blind guys indeed. There you go. Excellent.
There we
very
go.
Good. Very good.
Give him the wave.
And then Captain AC3 is in as well. Hey, Captain. And in fairness to Pixel Ray Ted, he said, I know. He does say, I know. He is the man. He very much is. And we are very lucky to be able to talk to him and have him talk to us an awful lot.
Yeah. Just John, all of the professionals, experts, listeners, anybody that's come on here, it's been awesome. So
we always kind of, even after, I mean, we've met John, we know John, he's good as gold. He's as down to earth as anyone you can imagine. And still, I mean, I did when I went to BAFTA, although I do every time he starts talking about people that I can only dream of meeting. But be it him or Joel Silver or any of the guys from Kaleidoscope, I think we always we kind of rub our eyes a little bit afterwards, just go, can't quite believe that we're talking to these people. And I know, Deej, you're way more kind of linked in with this than I am, but when I do as well, it's just like, I just can't quite believe that somehow this has all happened.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's, I mean, like meeting Joe Klusnick. Joe Klusnick has been, he just started, or is a listener of the show, but just his interactions and his passion going from, he loves it just like us, got into it, went to CEDIA, becomes a CEDIA member, does all of, the courses and stuff like that. And just because of that, and then he hears me doing my show and he's like, hey, would you be interested in talking to, Brett Bjorkquist, right? And I'm like, sure, who's that? And he's like, oh, at the time he was working at Kaleidoscape. And it's like, okay. And this is what, 5 years ago, whatever it was, right? And I'm like, sure, okay. And then you meet him, and then he was, he went to CEDIA and he took Ben Goff's seminar. And he's like, let's do a show with him. And it's like listeners like that. It's like they bring people to the show, and it's like, and then you sit down with Ben Goff, who's building, $1 million theaters, who then, who Ben had John in for their demo theater. And it's like, we know that story. It's like all of this stuff. And it's like these $1 million theaters. And it's like I said, when I came first time I went to CEDIA, I was like, we're not that far off. And like a guy like Ben, I sit down with Ben, and it was like, we're very like-minded. He's the expert. He delves into things that I can't even imagine, which is great. But then the stuff like home theater, we're very like-minded. And you're like, it gives you the confidence, and it should give you guys, the listeners, the confidence when people are saying stuff that we kind of know we're tweaking with. And this guy's making millions of dollars, or, charging millions of dollars for a theater. And it's like, look, we're not that far off. I can't build $1 million theater, don't get me wrong. But it's just fun when you see how tight this community really, really is, Yeah.
So. Well, and we talked off air about, when I first heard of the ISF back in the 90s, when I had a TV, can I get an Imaging Science Foundation engineer? Someone had told me then that one day I'd talk to the guy that founded it.
Yeah.
I'd been like, get stuff. There's no way. But
yeah.
Sure enough, it's crazy how cool this guy. And again, an Oscar winner with Ara, and of course your history with the HT guys and all that as well.
Yeah,
getting to speak to him and chat to him, and and well, have drinks with him, literally.
Yeah.
It is very, very cool. So we are lucky people. We're lucky people breathing rarefied air. Right, Deej, sorry, because we're going to get off on a tangent again. So the old school kung fu films has just dropped in. Hey, buddy.
Hey.
So let's talk legal stuff then, Deej. Come on.
All right.
Share this article. Come on.
Okay, so this was actually sent to me by, speaking of listeners, Trevor White. I got an email this morning, and it says an article, abcnews.com, officers sue Ben Affleck and Matt Damon, claiming details in The Rip are too real. And so I read this article, and I was like, all right, I'm a car painter. I'm like, and I think this is ridiculous. I read the whole article, and I'm like, we'll give you a brief overview of that. So I'm like, I got to send this to Steve. I'm like, being a lawyer, and it's like, and obviously Steve reads it, jump to the punchline. He agrees. This is ridiculous. So the overview of the article is these two, is it Miami cops? I think.
Yeah,
I think it
so.
is.
Yeah.
Two Miami officers are suing the production company that made this movie, made The Rip, which is, that's the production company that is now is also sharing with that. And that wasn't mentioned in the article, but that company is sharing with everybody, from the gaffers and the food people. Everybody shares.
Equity, it's called, isn't
it?
Yeah.
So they're, Ben and Matt are trying to do something different in Hollywood and have give people more of a stake in these movies. And these cops, apparently officers, are saying that the movie was so accurate that they had a case similar to this, and people are accusing them of being bad cops. And in their lawsuit, they don't even mention which characters are representing them. So they're just saying this movie in general has their friends and family saying, is this you? Did you steal money? So they decided to sue them. And I'm like, that can't be. That's like, every movie could be like, all right, hey, I was, have you ever seen, what's the movie with Charlie Sheen and Emilio Estevez, where they're the garbage men?
Yeah. I know the one. Can't think what it's called.
It's like Trash Man or something, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah, something like that.
It's something like that. But it's like, what are you going to have people just say like, I pick up trash. Hey, and we do funny things. It's like, what the heck? It's actually, like, there's no grounds.
Well, it's funny you said that. I am taking
Men at Work.
That's the one, Mikey.
Yeah,
Mikey. I am taking Warner Brothers to court because apparently Keanu Reeves was a defense lawyer and he was working for the devil. So I don't want it suggested that in any way that I am linked in any way to Satan or Beelzebub. So I'm hoping that lawsuit's going to win me loads of cash.
Yeah, yeah. It's like there's like, and it even said, like, in the article, like, the movie says, not represent, which every movie says at the end, that they have the disclaimer. This is not a representation of any real person or situation or anything like that. And it's like, what the?
Didn't they, it doesn't, I mean, it feels like a long time ago I've seen it. I mean, this is the other funny thing. Of course, this lawsuit just blows this story wide open and reminds everybody about the movie, which, to be honest with you, Deej, if you'd put a gun to my head and said, what was the name of that film? I couldn't have remembered it. But also, I don't remember it saying it's a true story. Do you?
It never did. It never did. It never said based on a true story. It said never based on events or based on anything. And if it did, usually when they do that, they have the people involved with the movie that are giving them like the inside. So they basically took a situation that probably is real. And as they said in the article, it's like, it's all public knowledge, what the case they were working on. So if they took a public information and made a movie out of it, it doesn't mean that you're like, it's you. And by you actually putting this out there, you're bringing the attention to yourself that it's like, why you feel so guilty about this? Like, did you steal money? Did you do that?
Well, this is the thing. Defamation law. I mean, it's different over there than it is here. And people choose very carefully which jurisdiction they sue under, depending on the nature of the case. Now, I'm a criminal defense lawyer. I know nothing about defamation cases. And just to be clear, Deej, this is not legal advice to anybody or anyone or any entity or anything like that. I better be clear about that. Terms and conditions apply. But in terms of the defamation is famous over here for claimants who have brought a case to court, and all they've done is actually just highlighted the problem that they were trying to bury. There was a famous soap actor over here that tried it because he was called Boring. I do know the names. I'm just not going to say them. He was apparently called Boring in the press, and he didn't like that. So he decided to sue the organization that put that article out, thereby bringing attention to the fact that he may or may not be boring. McDonald's did it. McDonald's, they got sued because they sued protesters that were outside of McDonald's who were saying that the food is, bad, this, that, and the other. That's what they said, again, allegedly. So you had people outside passing out leaflets to people saying, don't eat in McDonald's because food X, Y, Z. McDonald's sued these protesters who've got no money, so they were never going to get anything out of it. And of course, that means it guarantees months and months and months and months of headlines around the world saying McDonald's food, don't do this, that, and the other. And I think McDonald's won that. But what did they get out of it? Nothing. And all they got was bad publicity.
Oh, yeah.
So it's odd. But we were talking earlier. I mean, so this idea that, so would a lawyer taking on this case forewarn them and say, look, here's the problem? Any decent lawyer would, should, and must. Certainly in the UK. I'm only talking about over here. I'm not a US lawyer. But over here, it is very common. It's important that when you take a client on, you advise them carefully. And I'm now talking about criminal stuff. You advise them carefully about the evidence, the nature of the case against them, or if they're bringing a case against someone else, likelihood of success. And it is not uncommon to have a client say, I don't care what you say. Thank you for your expert analysis, but I don't care what you say. I'm going to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
And then what you do in that case is you get signed instructions from your client that says, you've been warned that this is what's going to happen.
And you're paying me regardless.
And you're signing here. That's fine. Yeah. Okay, let's go for it. And it happens all the time. And I mean, okay, occasionally they are correct. And we have had one or two over the decades I've been doing this that have somehow secured an acquittal when they were told you haven't got a hope in hell. Yeah. And I won't go into details because I was thinking about these, but I won't because, again, that's potential confidentiality issues. Even generically, it's a problem.
Yeah.
But the reality is, so, you as a lawyer, you're not responsible for the efficacy of your client's case or the strength of your client's case. You're not responsible for that. You take the instructions they give you. You give them a warning if it's need be, and then you advance their instructions. And you're actually in a lot of trouble if you don't do that. Right. If you take your client and go, I don't like that case, I don't want that case, I'm going to get rid of that client, that would put you in a lot of problems ethically anyway. and they could complain, and they would have a complaint that would be fairly valid. And I think that way danger lies, because you're then picking the clients as to whether you like them or like their case or not. And that's not a good way to do things. So yeah, seems like a silly case. Again, not legal advice from my point of view, but just looking at it from the outside in. But who knows? You know, who can say? Who can say? It is in Florida, so you know, weird things happen in Florida, from what I understand.
I just think like how this, like, imagine if they won, what that would do to movies. Like, it's already like somebody actually asked, where is it? Here it is. Paul Hurt saying, if I wrote a screenplay based on when my best friend was kidnapped and almost murdered in Amsterdam, do I have to track down and pay the perpetrator for rights? It's like, no, the way they get around is they change the names, right? And we're like, we didn't say it was you. You know, you don't point the finger at an individual. You change the names for the sake of anonymity or whatever, right? And you hear about that all the time, based on a true story, and that's complete fiction. People do that in complete fiction just to give you that this really happened. So now, like, a movie that, like, oh my God, cops busted a whole, you know, did a drug bust and that found all this cash and potentially could have stolen it. That's not the first movie made to do that. Like, you know,
and doesn't like, tar all cops, does it? It doesn't then say, right, every police officer does that. I mean, yeah.
And it's like, there were like, weird. I thought Affleck and Damon in the movie were the good guys, and they caught the bad guys. So they're saying, like, they haven't said who, these two officers haven't said who they are, but clearly they're not Damon and Affleck's characters. Because they'd be like, yeah, that was us. Nope, they were the bad guys that got caught, and they're telling the world that right now. What does that do for other movies? You know, like, imagine the government comes out and goes, yeah, we're going to sue you because, you know, Independence Day is way too accurate. Really?
Yes. Yeah. Well, they are releasing the UFO files, so who knows?
Yeah, Disclosure Day is coming.
Well, indeed. Yeah, but but as I said, I look, again, legal disclaimer, everybody, because if these are quite litigious people, then, you know, we don't know the detail. We're only going based on an article, and we're just talking very generally about the impact on the film business, not the validity or otherwise of their case. There we go.
There you go. All right. That's why I have my lawyer here for this discussion.
Because, you know, it is an ongoing case. So, you know. Actually,
the best thing that ever happened to the show, we got sued.
You speak for yourself. I don't like that conversation with my boss about our professional indemnity insurance. He won't like that. So,
It's like, think of the, it's like, how did you guys get so big? We got outed. Like,
and then McDonald's sued.
Yep. Oh man. So I did think that was interesting. You know, that's exactly what Trevor wrote in the subject line. Interesting article. Like, you weren't wrong. All right.
Okay.
All right. Anything else?
No. I mean, we could, if we wanted to then look at the time, if we wanted, look at it and look at the picture on the screen. If we wanted to then do a theatrical visit this week and then lead into an experience, we could do that. And then we'll have a good hour to run at everything else then. What do you think?
Yeah, sounds great.
Because there's a story with this.
What do you want me to open with?
Do you
want me to open with the welcome one?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, please.
All right.
Yeah. I'll set the scene before we display it. Yeah, they're all in order, more or less, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry for that one, by the way. That's the one. That's the one. So, so everybody knows pretty much that, certainly any long-time viewers, listeners will know that as a general rule, I'm quite disparaging about commercial cinemas. I have issues with them. It is rare that I will go to one and have a very good experience. I went to the Epic screen at View Cinemas when I saw Project Hail Mary, funnily enough, more about which later. And I enjoyed that experience. I thought that was good. It was fine. You know, it was okay. But also against that, there have been many, many unpleasant experiences, and particularly in my case with IMAX. And I had, so my one was 10 years ago, 11 years ago with Dunkirk. I think it was 2015, wasn't it? I think it was.
Yeah.
And I went to see that in an IMAX theater about an hour away from here as a special treat. On this particular day, I thought, I'm going to go see it. And I saw Dunkirk, and I had a horrible, horrible experience watching this film in an ear-splitting volume where the speakers were rattling in their cabinets, and people in the audience were doing this, and it felt like someone had stuck a saucepan over my head and whacked it with a poker for 2 hours, and it was excruciating and very unpleasant. And I have not been back to an IMAX theater since, and I've steered clear of it. And a lot of people, when we talked about IMAX months and months and months ago, were talking about, it's been, I've got one that's way too loud, or the seats are uncomfortable and all this stuff. So I've stayed away from IMAX since then. However, a new theater has opened about 30 minutes away from here in a shopping mall in Bristol. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now, this will come back as relevant in a bit. Now, Bristol is about the UK's 8th to 10th largest city. Okay. And that's my nearest city to here. And it's not a big city, but they have nevertheless had an old cinema showcase shut, actually. And they've then brought in this a new cinema called Odeon, who is a big chain in the UK, and they have kitted this this theatre out with everything apart from a Dolby Cinema. I mean, you've got IMAX, there's iSense, which seems a bit odd, but all kinds of different seating and all kinds of different things. And it opened in end of February, and I had not been there, and I've been meaning to go, and I haven't been able to until Monday night when I booked to the Odeon Lux, Odeon Lux Theatre, to see Mortal Kombat 2 in IMAX. And I thought to myself, right, okay, these are, by the way, massive screens in the foyer, by the way. And I thought to myself, right, I'm going to give IMAX another go, because now we're 11 years on, brand new theatre. If this one can't sell me on IMAX, that's me and IMAX done. And I literally thought, right, once, and that's the end of it. I'm not doing this again. And I went very late in the evening. The showing was at 20 to 10 on an evening. And it was a Monday night. And I walk in, and there is a massive foyer. There's no one there, as you can see there. Pretty much loads of people coming out at the end. But this theater was pristine. I mean, it looked like it had just opened. All that lovely fresh carpet smell and all the rest of it. It was all very, absolutely spotless, which I hope means the staff are good at cleaning and not that no one's going. Because if no one's going, it ain't going to be there long, because they've spent a lot of money on this. And so this is one of the foyer areas. This is upstairs, and then you move to the end of this thing here, and we have our IMAX screen. Apologies for the blooming on that. I grabbed this picture very quickly because I was running a little late. So IMAX in the foyer, IMAX up here, and then went into the theater itself. By the way, notice the blue and black colors, which is like my theater room. So of course it's going to.
And mine. I love the blue and black. The blue theme of Bright Side Home Theater in the background. That's what I go with. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah. So the dark blue, black, and the dark gray as well, which is the color of my carpet in my theater room as well. Yep. So this is the theater. Then you'll see there's one other person right up in the back row there. This was pretty much the showing. Yes, there is one other person. I took it really quickly as well, because they're bound to think, what's this idiot taking photos? And then went up to the red seats, which are the really posh ones. So I've got some photos of that. Yeah, you're right. And next slide, please.
I clicked on the wrong folder.
You're okay. And this is their ultra luxe seats. And that's my big can of Red Bull to keep me awake. And so I sat down, and then looking at the screen, then I did get a quick snap of the screen that I put on. I did think I did. Yep. And there it is there. Okay. So the screen there doesn't look that big. I promise you it is big when you sat in front of it. It's just the way the camera was, and I didn't mess about with it. Okay. So I sat down, this comes on, right? So on comes the adverts. We get 20 minutes of adverts, okay, which look a little sharper, but it's still adverts, just like, car adverts. Just want to bang my head against a brick wall. And so endless adverts, load of trailers, which in fairness, one of which, by the way, was the Odyssey, and on an IMAX screen, does look very good, I grant you. But I had seen all the trailers. So we finally get to the start of the movie, and I'm thinking, okay, well, this is kind of same old, same old. However, we then get an IMAX trailer, which I had never seen before. And so we get an IMAX trailer of kind of, all different, things through forests and lakes and rivers and all this stuff. And then there is so then the movie, you get the Warner Brothers logo comes up because it was Mortal Kombat 2. So you get the New Line Cinema Warriors. Yep. And there was another IMAX trailer after that, saying shot for IMAX, filmed for IMAX, which I was not expecting. And I've got to say, Deej, so I then watched the film after that. I've been all over the world. Okay, I've seen movies literally, all over the place, from Universal Studios to Sony in San Francisco, to Boston, to all over the world, and in London and all those places. This was, without question, the best theatrical experience I have ever seen, bar none, and it's not even close.
Wow.
This must be what IMAX is all about. It was stunning. And I just honestly, throughout it, I was giggling to myself like a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
Luckily, there was no one else there to hear.
Yeah. Well, unless that was a schoolgirl in the back, but
well, really offended.
Yeah.
It was fantastic. It blew me away. Now you've got massive screen, razor sharp images, absolutely pin sharp, like I was at home. HDR off the charts. What's very cool is, so Mortal Kombat 2 isn't shot entirely in IMAX, like most movies. So a bit of IMAX, bit of normal.
Yeah.
And when the ratio changed, there was no discernible color difference in the bars. There was no gray. It was inky black. So when it moved between them, it was like I was at home. So you didn't notice these changes of this thing here, so that was great. And the audio, wow. I mean, this again had, now, we talk about, we have talked about localization issues, about, in a big theater, massive room, and it was big, as you can see. I was sat right in the middle, halfway up, smack bang in the middle, perfect viewing position. We talk about lack of localization. It's a big room, it's just kind of noisy and a little bit. Now, this had movement, and it did have localization, and it was front to rear right, across to rear left, cross to the front, and then up and over the top and back over, and base to end all base. All the way through this, the floor is going, and you could feel it in the chest. I have never experienced a movie like this in this format, in this way. This was phenomenal. And I mean, yeah, it's great. And so from now on, for me, as long as the theater stays in this condition, which may not be, this is where I will see new releases that are in IMAX all day long. I mean, this is where I'm going to see The Odyssey. This is where I'll see Masters of the Universe. From now on, if it's in IMAX, it is there. It is phenomenal. And anyone in the area, anyone around Bristol in the UK, Southwest, I can't talk about other theaters, but I can tell you this one is superb. And I was blown away, Deej, absolutely blown away. What a cinema. And again, I don't normally say that.
Exactly.
I can't criticize this at all. Not at all. Not in terms of the experience. You just can't do it. It's perfect. And if Dolby Cinema can beat this, I would be very, very surprised. It's awesome.
I'm practically speechless, because we've said this many times. Like, how do you impress us? Right? Like, to go to, like we just said earlier, like, you see it at home. Why would you say, I need to see this in a theater? Would you say it's that good that you would go? Would you say, like, you saw, like we used Prey, for example, which we all love and think it's a great movie. It wasn't released in theaters, and it was like one that we're like, would you say they were showing a screening? Would you be like, I got to see this?
No.
Okay. All right.
No, not quite. I don't think, not quite. Whether I would Jaws or, Raiders of the Lost Ark or something that's absolutely like, that had been reformatted for IMAX, then I might. I might, but
right.
I say might. But in terms of newer movies shot with this in mind, and again, The Odyssey looked phenomenal on this. Yeah. So I mean, just that trailer was like, I felt like I was in the screen, And so that it's a no-brainer for that. That is now this and nowhere else. Sorry, Dave, go on.
I was going to say, so you're basically saying, like, this is as close as you can get to at home. It's not there, but it's as close as you can get to have that in-theater experience that's close to what we get at home, which is weird for us to say, but, if you're a new listener, you're like, listen to these cocky jerks. But no, you know what I mean? Like, they think it's all that. You got to know us. But it's the intimate environment and stuff. But
it blew my mind, and I was not expecting it. I thought, the sound was perfect. It was not too loud, wasn't too quiet, and it moved in ways that I haven't heard theatrical sound move before, and it's awesome. And just to answer, Virtual Robots Revolt, someone new again, love that name. That's a fab name. Said, is it true 70mm film or a digital projector? This one was in 4K laser. So that's what this one was. But I mean, obviously, I don't know whether the Odyssey will be in 70mm. I don't know. But believe you me, this is something new. And again, as we said last week about studios that are bringing to life older movies and spending money on those, we should champion this kind of exhibition, because this is the thing we say we want. And so if Odeon is spending this kind of money, I dread to think, Teach, how much they spent on this, because this must be, I just cannot imagine how much it must have cost them. But I'm very glad they did. And this is an Odeon Lux Cinema, that's what it's known as. That's their brand. So if you can't make it to Bristol and you've got one near you or not near you, and you want to see something that's going to blow your socks off, this is how to see it. And well done, Odeon, for giving us this kind of presentation, because IMAX, as I found, is not that way. The cinema I was referring to was not an Odeon cinema. It was a different one. And it was a big cinema chain, but not that. And that experience was totally different to this. I loved this experience. And it's not cheap. It was like £17 for a ticket. You got to pay parking because it's at a shopping mall, so that was another £3 or £4 on top. But if it's worth seeing, and it's in IMAX, this is how to see it.
They've said that too. It's like they use theaters like this, like a premium experience, and you're going to pay for it. And they've literally, I've seen articles in the past where places will have this, and they're like, we charge a premium, and then there's requirements, like you can't have little kids in here. And then I saw one article, this was a few years ago, and a woman was so offended she couldn't bring her infant in, and they're like, no, this is a premium experience. It's like, but I have her. No, you don't. And they're like, well, I'll never come back here. Okay, this is for the premium experience. That's why they charge more. It's like to take care of stuff like that. And it's like, and it sounds like you're trying to be, an elitist or something like that. But it's like, no, it's like, it's for the people that want that premium experience. And it's like, I know like Rogan started doing this with his shows, his comedy specials. They take your phone. And before you go in, so you don't get to look at your phone. And he's talked about it on his show. Like, we do that so that people can, not so they can't take pictures. It's so they have to concentrate on the show, because there's a flow to the show. And if you're not paying attention, and if it's taken away, and it's funny listening to him say that, it's like you hear people talk about that when they're designing a theater, like when Ben's not designing a theater, or that it's like if all of a sudden the toilet flushes upstairs and you're at this moment in a movie in your home that demands dead silence, and all of a sudden you go, oh, I wonder who used the bathroom, and it's like, boom, you've been taken out of the experience. Well, you get that in a cinema, like you were saying about Begonia. It's like you want complete concentration. I'll pay double the price to have take my phone, charge me double, and give me the ultimate theater experience. Okay. And people will complain, why is it so expensive? Why can't I go? It's like, all right, this is why. There are people that like it this way. And it's like, you don't have to do every showing like that, but it's like, I mean, it's so much for me being speechless.
But but in terms of and the other thing as well, when I've been in IMAX screens before, the seats are rigid and uncomfortable. These are recliners and all that stuff as well. It was very cool. Paul says there, sounds like IMAX have established a new presentation spec to compete with Barco Dolby. Well, Paul, when I saw Project Hail Mary, that was in a Barco on a Barco projector, laser projector, Dolby Atmos, and that was the Epic screen that I showed the photos of that a few weeks ago. This trounced that. absolutely trounced it. And of course, Project Hail Mary was showing in IMAX in these theaters when it came out, and I wish I had seen it in this format, because it would have been a very, very different experience. I mean, I enjoyed the Epic one, don't get me wrong, but this would have been, I think, a noticeable improvement. And as I said, the next big one is Masters of the Universe, which I loved playing with those toys as a kid, so I will be there for that. I think there has been IMAX footage, and then of course, day one for me, the Odyssey will be here. It'll be a bit busier, I imagine, but I'll see that there, and then also Doomsday. I mean, although I don't, of course, it's not in IMAX, is it? So I don't know whether they'll show it in a different format, but still, this is where I want to see.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm an hour and 10 minutes from Cinemark, and that I'd have to drive west. And a Dolby Cinema or even an IMAX, true IMAX, is an hour east into Boston.
Okay.
So like I'm an hour in either direction from something of this quality. And I can tell you right now, they don't have this quality of seating, right? Like my X Plus has this quality of seating, but it doesn't have the goodies that, like, remember I saw Project Hail Mary at the Cinemark, and it was great. It was awesome. Like the screen was the appropriate size. It was you didn't have black bars all four sides like you did at Showcase. And it was like, that's just, So, and we'll get into more of that when I talk about that later.
If you do come over, this is where we're going to go. All right. I'd love to get your view on this. I think it would blow your mind. I think you'd love it.
Yeah. It's very exciting.
And Paul says, Paul also says, let me know when all IMAX cinemas are upgraded to this standard, or I'll have to come to Bristol. Paul, come to Bristol, buddy. Let me know when you're here. We'll go see something in this and prepare to be amazed.
It's an awesome, it's hard to impress us. And when they do, it's,
You've got to shout it out, haven't you?
Yeah.
Again, it's bright side, so we're always looking for the positive-ish anyway.
Yeah.
But when it is something new, something different,
it's something new and something blue. So
indeed, but not borrowed.
Not borrowed. No.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Very cool.
Awesome.
So,
all right.
Should we talk about the movie?
Let's get to the movie in particular that you saw.
Okay. So this one then is Mortal Kombat 2. And again, although I have to say, I mean, I'll get the 4K disc when this comes out. So this is obviously in theaters. And of course, my experience may have enhanced the movie. So it might be when I see it again, it's less good. I don't know. But
it's less
anyway, it's less good. Yeah, it might be. So the first viewing, I did enjoy it. And again, I've got to say, so I obviously watched Mortal Kombat, the first one, again last week, which we talked about. Since then, I downloaded Mortal Kombat 11 on my Legion Go, so my portable gaming PC, and I've been playing that to death this past week, if you'll forgive the pun. And I've been loving that. And then so to go along to this was just part of this little Mortal Kombat journey I've been on. And I did enjoy this. I thought it was good. I think I'm not sure it made much sense, which didn't really matter to me because I was having such a good time with the presentation of it. So I don't think it made a lot of sense, but it does give you, as a Mortal Kombat fan, what you're after, which is a load of fights, load of blood, guts, and gore. And that's kind of it. There's not a lot of story here. And what story there is doesn't really make sense, but you won't care if you see it in a really good theater. And I didn't care because it was fun. So I will get the 4K disc. I think I'll see it again. I did enjoy myself. But it's not high art. I would say.
Well, it's a video game movie. It's a video game movie. From when did this video game come out? In the 80s, wasn't it? Was that 80s?
Early 90s.
Early 90s.
92, 93, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
But and even that, it was just it wasn't even a first person fighting game. It was, it was two characters coming across, but its claim to fame was it was just gory.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's just like it wasn't a great story in the video game either. It was just a game and the blood and guts, and that was it. And the fact that they've made these movies that have captivated people, that I got a text from Joe Klosnick, and I had told you about this, and he's like, the best Mortal Kombat movie I've ever seen, which I was like, wow, coming from Joe, but also there aren't a lot of them. So it's like, I mean, it's not like he's saying the best movie I've ever seen. Like, step aside, Gone with the Wind. Yeah, exactly. It's like, Lawrence of Arabia, nothing. Mortal Kombat 2. No, that's not what anybody's saying. I hope that's not what Joe's saying. But sorry, Joe. But the idea, it's like I got that from him, and I'm like, I was like eyeballs deep at working at the house. I planned on seeing this Saturday, and I just couldn't. I couldn't get out of work. I just kept working, and just too busy to. And this is on a schedule, so you can't just go home and just start it up, right? You've got to see it at certain times, and I got to see it in the best possible theater. Ooh. And it wasn't possible. But home theater people I see are loving it. I'm hearing other things from not lesser people, but people that aren't into the home theater side.
Yeah, quite. I mean, it'll be a hell of a home theater thing because it's Warner's disc. I mean, Warner's never disappoint, do they? Or very rarely. But yeah, no, it's great. And I have to say, Carl Urban is very, very good as Johnny Cage. And the guy that plays Kano as well, who's an Aussie comedian, is very funny. And the two of them just undercut the thing constantly. It's like Deadpool and Wolverine, really. They're just constantly taking the mickey, and just undercutting it. And they are funny. And again, the Aussie guy in particular is funny. So yeah, it was good. I did enjoy it, and I recommend people seeing it. Looks like in the chat people enjoyed it as well. It's a fun time. It is exactly what it is. It's what it says on the tin. It's Mortal Kombat 2. If you like the games, you like the universe, you'll like the movie. If you don't, you won't.
Right.
But if you do see it in this particular IMAX cinema, you'll enjoy the experience, if not the movie itself.
Yeah.
So right. An interesting story again, old school kung fu film saying that he likes watching films at the BFI IMAX in Waterloo, so that's London, but the seats are a letdown. I mean, that's the thing, old school kung fu films, exactly that. Yeah. I've been in IMAX theaters, not the last one was, but previously as well, when they used to just show the nature documentaries and those kinds of things, and they were rigid seats right up against a wall, or a partition, and they were uncomfortable, but then they were designed then for 40 minutes. It was a quick in, watch it, and then go. Now, these ones, though, and especially this particular one, have been designed with a proper experience in mind. So they're beautifully comfortable seats. Not as nice as my ones at home, I would say, but still very, very nice. Premium leather, tray, table, all this stuff. It all reclines nicely. That's the beauty of these. And I'm sure there'll be one of these in London if an Odeon Lux. There's got to be. And I'd be very surprised if the Bristol one is different to those. So if you can find one, give it a try and let us know what you think of it. I loved it. So there we go.
Yeah. Alrighty then. Let's see. Remove. There we go.
All right. Okay.
All right. So this one, can you see what it is? Do you see what it is? Can you make it out?
Quite. Okay. Oh God, yes I can. Oh, Deej, really?
Slow your roll.
I can see. Actually, it's on your thing at the back as well. By the way.
Yes, it is.
It's on your screen.
There you go. You're giving it away. So for the people of the audio only, you have to tune in to get a sneak peek. So pause the audio only. Jump ahead to the 1 hour and 2 minute mark of the video. You'll see. Then continue where I'll announce what it is. So we'll wait for them to come back. Okay, they're back.
Long time.
So let me, before I put it up for the people, the YouTubers. This was the Mother's Day conversation at the dinner table.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, and my I got a picture Saturday night of my grandson taking this in with Greg, and my grandson's face was.
Yes, was the grandson saying to Greg, "Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?"
Yeah. So there you go. It's like, so we're talking Rush Hour from what
1998?
Yes, 1998, which actually. Another movie we're going to this came out in 98. Another movie that Steve and I are going to talk about later took place in 1998. Did you know that, Steve?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I'll tell you why when we get to that.
Yeah. Okay. Why you knew it? Is that what you mean?
And why it resonated with me? Yeah.
Well, I had to look up when it was because something in the movie. I was like, wait a minute, that ain't right. And we'll talk about it when we get to it. So yeah, this is Rush Hour. Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. And what was funny is on our Mother's Day conversation, Greg had said he looked it up and it was like the number one, like whatever he looked at for like buddy cop comedy. And I was like, there's no way. And I'm like,
comedy,
Rush Hour? I'm like, comedy? And I was like, so we had a conversation about it and being like, I'm like, it's like, how is like Beverly Hills Cop not in there? How is that not number one? How is that?
Yeah.
And then, you know what I mean? Like it had, and like Greg pulled it up at the table. He's like, wait a minute, look. And it actually like Beverly Hills Cop was like 7th. And like all the movies ahead of it, like the entire
millennials.
It's like, yeah, exactly. Paul Hurt's like, yeah, not 48 hours. I know we could name a whole bunch of movies that would be ahead of not only this, but like Beverly Hills Cop is like the classic. It's the original. And then when I went to watch Rush Hour, I'm like, he's ripping off Beverly Hills Cop. Like Chris Tucker is acting like Axel Foley. He's like, I mean, they open it kind of that way. They kind of like they close it that way. He's like in Beverly Hills Cop, he closes, he's leaving the hotel. Well, in Rush Hour, he's like at the airport and the 2 cops come up behind him, but now they do a different take on it, but it's like the same scene. It's like, it's like, but yeah, it's fun. It was it was fun. Then everybody's like, have you seen that before? Have you ever seen it? I'm like, oh yeah, I saw it. And then when you hear the, do you understand the words? Yeah, it's, I mean, you know the lines, you know the things. It's good. It's funny.
What format's it in, Deej?
It is, this is only in HD.
Okay.
DTS Master Audio 5.1. The Blu-ray is actually 7.1.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah. And I will tell you that even this on Kaleidoscape, it's the 5.1. It upmixed so good. It really did. I don't know if you remember the scenes, but there's quite a few scenes in this movie, more than you probably remembered. And the only reason I remembered them and the only reason I noticed them is because how well this upmixed with Neural X. So there are scenes where they're inside a building or they're looking inside a building and a helicopter is hovering above with the spotlight on the side of the building. About, I'd say maybe a third of the way or halfway through the movie, there's a scene like that. And then later in the movie, there's a scene, you're actually in the building at the later part and you hear the helicopter over your head. And I was like, I don't ever remember that before. And I even looked it up on Blu-ray.com and saw their review. And this came out in like 2010 on Blu-ray. And they were like, oh, it's nice 7.1 mix or whatever. But they were like, it's not, obviously they're not talking about overheads or anything. But for some reason, this mix really did a good job of putting things overhead that belonged there. And it made it a lot more fun. I really enjoyed that. The picture, it's a 5.1. The movie we're going to talk about later, I thought was literally comparable to this picture quality because of the grain and stuff. And I, by your nod, that's what we're going to talk about. So this here, the difference is, you know what I noticed about this one? So I wear glasses now. I've talked about it on the show and how like it improves the viewing experience because you could see those minute details. My distance vision isn't that bad, but as I said, it's like that 1% improvement means the difference in a fade or something like that, or a focus of the screen. When you're watching, and I've done it since watching this movie, when you're watching 1080p and I take my glasses off, there is no 1% difference. It's not as great. So I can watch it with glasses on. It looks the same. It's like, it's like, that's the difference I noticed. But yes, it was fun. It's the picture quality is pretty good, pretty vibrant. It's, coming through on the OLED. It looks really nice. But I was actually pretty impressed with how well this upmixed for a movie that's this old and how the use of the overheads was engaged that well. And like I said, those few helicopter scenes, but then there were other stuff as well. The music. It's ridiculous. But it was fun.
You talk about minute details. I used to have a pet newt, and he was called
geez.
Tiny. Do you know why he was called Tiny? Because
Tiny
he was
Dude?
minute.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. That's
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna start that over.
Violet.
Yeah.
Right.
You just can't write stuff like that. We got to fire our writers.
yeah.
We had any.
God.
God. There we go.
Man.
All righty
Rush
then.
Hour. I mean, I don't know if we'll ever get a 4K of Rush Hour 1 or 2, because of course there are problems with the filmmakers, one in particular, which means that it's kind of persona non grata. So I don't know whether they will do that. But I don't even have the Blu-ray. I have to admit, I've got I've had the DVD, which I got rid of, and I was just looking it up then. So I don't know if I'll pick it up. I do like it. I like the first one. And I think the second one was quite fun. The third one, I think I blanked.
I don't think I ever saw the third one. I've seen the first two. I know that. I never saw the third one. I don't think.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Jackie Chan is great. I mean, his, his like he's fast. He's Jackie Chan. It's like, but it's like Jackie. It's like Jet Li and Lucille Ball mixed together. Like physical comedy and martial arts expertise mixed together, and it's like that's what you get. And ironically, that Rush Hour came out the same year as Lethal Weapon 4. But Lethal Weapon 4, as I read, it came out like 2 months earlier than this. So we'd already been introduced to Jet Li, and now.
The outtakes over the credits are a lot of fun. I mean, Jackie Chan said about this,
yes,
like, the action was fine. It was the dialogue that he was like, how am I supposed to say this? Like, what? And all the outtakes are him getting his lines wrong. It's like I can't. He keeps improvising, so I can't follow what he's saying, and then two, I can't then respond to him because he won't stick to the script.
Yeah,
so poor Jackie Chan's got like, now what do I say? How do I say it? What?
Yeah, and then one of the outtakes is when Chris Tucker is trying to talk in Chinese, and he says, and like he only has like 2 words to say, and he keeps screwing it up. And Jackie Chan actually says that he's cracking up, and he goes, he can't get 2 words in Chinese. He goes, look at what I'm going through, and in his broken English, the way he said it, he was cracking up at it. That was great. Yeah.
But they do remain fast friends, and there's talk about Rush Hour 4, how they're going to get that off the ground again because of problematic director. I don't know, but still, they do get on well. And apparently, Chris Tucker only sort of acts in Rush Hour movies. He doesn't do anything in between, not in terms of acting.
Call that acting.
Yeah, but they get 20 million a movie for this. Yeah, this is why Rush Hour 4 is kind of stalled slightly, because they wanted 20 million again. And then you're like, what? Hey. 20 million what? Pesos? So
I'd take 20 million pesos.
Yeah.
What's that, $20?
That'll be okay. Get us home.
Yeah.
Think of the junior mints.
Oh, yeah. All right. What do you want to do next?
All right. Should we do the Statham one? The Statham one?
Sure.
Get this out of the way just for a bit of a laugh.
All right. Let's
I did say to Dom I would review that this week, I think.
All right. Let me take that down, and we're gonna put where did it go? Let's say 84. Where did it go?
Got it there? There should be 3 pictures with this one, Deej. We've got the cover, then we've got the 2 close-ups. Let's see who did it best.
Oh,
that's one of them. Yeah, and then
that's
got the cover. Yeah.
Yeah, let me move this. And then there he is.
No, that's it. Jason Statham. There he is.
Jason Statham.
Let's see who did it best. Let's see the other close up there. So this is me in London. Yeah. Let's see the other one. Let's see who did it best.
Oh, why is that not?
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Why is that not blown up?
Yeah, there we go. Right. Who did it best? You guys be the judge. So this is Jason Statham, and then the next one, then this is me. Who did it best, guys? You tell me. You tell me who rocks that beanie hat better. Anyway.
There you go. Look at that.
It was in London in December. Right. Okay, then let's go for the cover then, Deej. No one wants to see my ugly mug. Here we go. Right, good. Okay. So this then is Jason Statham's latest movie, Shelter, which dropped on 4K. I mean, I say
I could tell by your enthusiasm. Like I know what I asked you. I'm like, should I watch
you
this?
Already know.
Through the text, I could feel this, but it's like it's
man.
yeah. Okay.
So here we go then. So Shelter. So 4K
I can't. I take a look at the real Shane Lee in the chat. I'm not putting that up on the screen.
I don't even know what that is. So no, I didn't see it. Hey Shane, I didn't see it, but yeah, no, I know how he's referring to you. Yes,
yeah,
he's asking for trouble, Deej. He's asking for trouble.
Oh yeah, he's fishing. He's stirring the sauce.
All right,
sauce.
Stir the sauce. Cause trouble. Go on.
That's what we used to do to the football games. Get everybody go. We're like, come on, everybody. We get the whole row at the football. Stir the sauce. My buddy owned a restaurant, so we're all good at stirring the sauce.
At least hasn't told you to drop and give him 20. Right. Okay. So
you don't.
No. Jay's laughing. Okay. So, right. So Jason Statham's Shelter, everybody. So this is on 4K UHD disc, DTS HD Master Audio 5.1 up next to Neural X, which dropped here a couple of weeks ago. Okay, what to say about this? So Jason Statham gets criticized.
Remember, this is Brightside.
No, I know. Well, this is as bright as I can be about this one. So Jason Statham is criticized routinely for making the same movie over and over and over again. Where he is the kind of the ex-special forces and he's got to protect someone, and and there it goes. And it happened with the Beekeepers, and then it happened with Beekeeper, and then it happened with A Working Man, the last one, and then we get it here again. So this time round we get so Jason Statham is a loner living on his own little island in the Outer Hebrides in Scotland, and something happens, and this young girl ends up having to be taken under his wing and protected from these evil bad guys. And the rest is every other Statham film you've ever seen. You don't need me to tell you anymore. It literally is that film. But this one in particular seems even more cliched than normal, even more mediocre, run-of-the-mill, and I believe people don't set out to make bad movies. I don't believe people, spend this kind of money to then not put effort into it. But I do start to wonder sometimes. And Statham has produced this. I mean, he's not just acting in it. He has produced it. He spent a lot of time on this.
Because nobody else would.
Well, this is the thing. And it's so cliched. You've got John Wick in this. You've got the Bourne Supremacy in this. You've got Beekeeper in this. You've got kind of Lone Wolf and Cub. You've got every little thing in there. And I have to say, how in some of these films, because if you're an ex-special forces, that's not enough. Now you can't just be a member of the Royal Marines, or you can't just be a Navy SEAL. You've got to belong to an elite group, right? And this elite group has to have a name. So in the Beekeepers, of course, it was called Beekeepers. That's what they were called. In the Bourne films, it was the Treadstone Operatives. And in Red Sparrow, they were called Red Sparrows. In Black Widow, they're called Black Widows. In this, they're called the Black Kites.
Huh?
And it's like, what? And it's
so they're led around by a string.
Someone just typed into a random. Well, yeah, it makes you wonder. But they've just kind of just typed it into a random word search. You just go, give me two words. Black Kites. Oh, that'll do. And when it comes in, it's just so.
I gotta say, I like that better than Beekeepers.
Well, yeah, you might like this more because it's not in Massachusetts. But it is run of the mill. And very much a case of same old. And again, as I think I said when I reviewed A Working Man, which I didn't think much of, is Jason's getting on a bit now. And I mean, I don't criticize him for that. We all are. But Jason is particularly getting on a bit. And so he is getting perilously close to the Liam Neeson Taken 3 form of action, which is can't do the high kicks anymore, haven't got the speed anymore. So what we'll do is I'll throw a fist, cut. We'll then cut to a reverse shot of the person feeling that, cut. Then I'll lift my leg, cut. Then we'll cut to a reverse shot of the person falling back, cut. You don't see any long takes anymore. There are it's all cut. And so the fights are unintelligible. You can't really tell one from another. And it's very, very samey. And Bill Nighy is in this, and why he's in this, I don't know.
The science guy?
No. Bill Nighy's he's been in loads of movies.
There's like Bill Nye, like Bill Nye the Science
Guy.
Guy.
Nighy. Yeah, you know him if you saw him, mate. He's been in loads of like British movies. He's a very famous British actor. But he's in this and he is slumming it all day long. This is nothing says Payday more than him in this, because this is frankly beneath him, and I mean that respectfully-ish. So film is as mediocre, as run of the mill as has been there, seen it, done it all, as I've seen in a long time. It really is just another one. It looks okay though. There's nothing to write home about in the 4K. The whole thing is in overcast skies or at night, so it's all quite dull. There's nothing really very exciting. There is a bit in a nightclub where it goes very John Wick. Where at least you get some kind of brighter things. So it looks okay for this kind of movie. Sounds all right-ish. Again, unfortunately, all the guns have got silencers on them. So you don't get any bang, bang, bang kind of bassy kind of gun notes. It's all a little bit of a, tap, tap, tap. Although you get the music in the nightclub, which does have some bass attached to it, which at least is something. But this is not one to rush out and see. I wouldn't suggest people buy this personally. You can wait for it to drop on Amazon or Netflix or whatever and see it for free. Don't go out and spend 25 quid on the disc. I wouldn't say. If you love it, you love it. But personally, for me, it's a no. And yeah, I mean, Paul Hurt says in the chat, The Equalizer. Oh, give me Equalizer 1, 2, and 3 any day of the week over this, or indeed Man on Fire again. Great. Haven't seen the series, but the movie's awesome. So yeah, any one of those over this all day long, because at least those have got some creativity. This is just, it's just filling out a resume. I would say it's just another notch on the belt. Just another movie. Personally, that's what I think. Although I appreciate. There are other opinions.
You froze.
Not many. Tell you this, DJ. I mean, you've talked about it as well as an artist. What you want someone to love it, or you want someone to hate it. You don't want someone in the middle to go, yeah. And that's exactly how I felt on this. And on IMDb, the score is 50 out of 100, right in the middle. Just
yeah.
So what?
Yeah, and that's the worst. It's like you want it because love and hate are the same thing. They're just passion. Mm-hmm. Right. It's in the middle is like, you don't care. Like how me and like what I say about stamp collecting. Like I don't care either way. Just really couldn't care less about it.
Yeah,
and that's nothing against stamp collectors. That's just me. It's you know what I mean? Like how we read that article by the woman, or I think it was a woman, about home theater. Like, this is ridiculous. Why would you put this in a home? Yeah, okay. That's your opinion. Right. But I would rather be like, actually, that's her opinion. She hates it. Great, you're talking about it, right? If she couldn't have cared less about it, she wouldn't even mention it, right? Yeah. So that's what you want, and it gets you to the point of, people go, home theater. Hey, somebody hates something. What's that? Then they look into it and go, oh my God, didn't even know that existed. Thank you. So.
Oh yeah. Jordan says here. He says, sadly, Steve, my local HMV sold out of 4K copies of Shelter. It's not unfortunately or sadly, Jordan. It saved you some money, mate.
Yeah. It's but yeah, it's
so
that's kind of how his movies have been going. When it's just his movie. It's like, what was the one? Somebody mentioned it in the chat earlier. It's like the other one, the one in, but I don't even think I haven't seen anything of his since Beekeeper.
Yeah, A Working Man was the last one.
Working Man, but there was the one before that where he was the guard or something like that, right? It was a while ago. We talked about it on the show.
Yeah, I mean, it's all rolling into one, to be fair. Just we do that. Some new people coming in, another country. There's Home Theatre Denmark. Hello from Denmark. Well, there you go. Hello from the United Kingdom.
Hey.
Hey, buddy. No, thanks for tuning in.
Let's see. Yeah, sorry, just getting that out.
No, it's okay.
But yeah.
So yeah, just yeah.
Yeah, it's literally what I expected. I was I love Statham, so I was hoping we'd get, you'd be like, you got to see this. I'd be like, all right, I'll grab it. And no. Mm-mm.
I mean, I had heard it was new. I mean, Jordan saying in the chat that people had said, "Oh, this is better than A Working Man," and I had heard that too. And the trailers looked all right-ish, But yeah, no one was, more just disappointed than I was when it just turned out to be just more of the same. Yeah. He's got some really good roles still in him, and I think the opening part of him kind of being a loner, I mean, he can act. I think he does have some of these roles still in him that move away from this kind of dross.
Yeah.
But I mean, look, and again, I'm not criticizing the guy. I mean, if this is how he makes his living, and he stays in the UK, and he's obviously got Rosie Huntington Whiteley is his wife, longtime wife. They've got kids, and I get that you might think, do you know what? I could film this, and I'm in the UK for 9 months. Brilliant. Yeah. I don't have to go away from the wife and kids.
That's fine.
And so fair play to him. I get that, but I think he's got better in him. I think he's got some really good roles still ahead of him. And it's just a shame when he kind of wastes seemingly artistic time on something like this when there are other things that I'm sure he could get. But, just my view.
Do you I've thought this before. Do you he is friends with Bruce Willis, and we all saw Bruce Willis doing this. And he was doing film after film after film. And you're like, what are these? Yeah. Only to come to find out he had his health issues and he knew he had a limited time. And it was like just banking paychecks for his family.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Do you think that
we got to be careful. Let's not start any rumors.
I know. I'm not trying to start a rumor or anything. Obviously, what do I know? But I mean, it's a noble thing. What you find out after the fact, you're like, you heard that about Bruce Willis. You're like, oh my God, I feel like a jerk for making fun of those crappy movies or whatever. Like you're just banking on your name and you're making money the only way you know how. And he did that. And it's like, I don't know. It's like, but
I mean, I don't.
To me, it's like, oh, they're in the Expendables. They know each other, and he sees what he went through, and he's like, maybe he doesn't have health issues, but he's like, not a bad idea. Make some bucks, and if a great role comes along. I mean, he's still got an incredible, I'd see anything that he makes. If somebody said, oh, no, this isn't Beekeeper, go see that. I'd be like, I love Statham. Love it. Boom, go.
Yeah. The guy is definitely good. I mean, he has done good movies. And again, I appreciate, so Jordan says in there, talk about Wrath of Man, which was really good. You do it, Deej. Go on, you get it.
It's Wrath of Man.
Wrath of Man. We saw that's the bank robbery one, wasn't it? Which was really, really good. It was.
That's a really good one. Yeah,
we did enjoy that. And Operation Fortune, Rudiger was good as well. I enjoyed that. He was good in that. Those are Guy Ritchie movies, and he seems to get on very well with Guy Ritchie. He was did the first film, which was Snatch. And he was, exceptional in that, and those two worked very well together. So Paul Hurth coming up with all the various quotes of what people did. I mean, there is a line in this, something like, "I chose isolation over humanity," or something, and it's like, oh man, whoa, we did another go at that line. So it's, but it is what it is. And, fair play to him, but it's not what I think I'll see again. I'll keep it in the collection because, it's not that bad, but it's very, very unmemorable. We won't be talking about this at the end of the year, Deej, that's for sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing. It could be just a great home theater experience, but okay.
Yeah. Not even that, unfortunately. There we go.
Not even that. Oh, well. All right. Let's get to something that is a better movie.
Yeah.
And we can do this. We're ready to do this one?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Right. And I'll wrap up with my... Yeah, you can introduce it. You saw it first.
Sure?
And
okay, cool.
I've been thinking of seeing it for a while. But yeah, here you go.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Okay. So this one then is the Darren Aronofsky movie. Caught Stealing from last year, 2025. I think it is. Might be 2024. Do you know what?
Oh no, it's not that.
I'm not sure. So. Yeah, it's not that far off. Let me see. I've got to check. Sorry,
I grab it.
Give the sound of typing. 2025 There we go. Right. Thanks, IMDb.
Yeah, it just came out at the end of the year. I think it did.
Oh, okay. Well, there we go. So so I didn't see it in theaters. This is Caught Stealing. Sorry if I didn't say. So Caught Stealing, Darren Aronofsky movie, 2025. This is on 4K UHD disc. And what was the audio codec? What have I got here?
I have Atmos on Kaleidoscape.
Yes, it is Atmos. Yep, it is.
Dolby Vision, Dolby Atmos. 4K, all the Dolbys,
all the Dolbys.
Yeah.
So this is a movie that like I said, I didn't see it in theaters.
No,
I don't think I'd even seen a trailer to it, and didn't really know much about it. Okay, and I remember Jordan mentioned to me in the chat, not chat, in DM a while back, that it had come out and said, "Oh, it's worth seeing." And I kind of, because I hadn't seen trailers, and I'm not a huge Aronofsky fan. I've got a couple of his movies, but I'm certainly not a completist by any means. Yeah. And he's not a director that I would gravitate towards, just to see because he directed it. And so, but again, when I was in London and I walked into HMV and there was 3 for £50, it was like, I'll get Severance, which I talked about a few weeks ago, this, and then I also bought The Smashing Machine, which I still haven't seen with Dwayne Johnson and Emily Blunt. So I bought this because I quite like the cover. And Jordan mentioned it, and I thought, well, it's cheap, I'll give it a go. Complete blind buy. And so I put it on and then watched it a few nights back. So how to describe the story? So it's set in 1998 in New York.
Yeah.
We have Austin Butler. He's playing a kind of down and out, schlubby kind of guy. He's struggling to get by. He's got a neighbor who's a punk, played by Matt Smith, who you can see on the screen there, with a very cool Mohican. And he entrusts him with his cat and goes away.
Yeah.
And wouldn't you know it, a motley crew of gangsters then begins to descend, and all hell then breaks loose. And it just becomes a really fun, really enjoyable most of the time. I mean, it's a kind of, I wouldn't say it's a black comedy. I think it is a comedy most of the time. Bit of drama as well.
It's tense. It is very tense. It's it's a dark comedy at best for comedy purposes, right? But yeah, like Dom says in the chat, it's like when Aronofsky Requiem for a Dream, I was like, I mean, it's a little bit more comedic than Requiem for a Dream, that's for sure. But yes, that's when I saw that. I didn't know that when I saw the trailer for it. I was like, oh, I just I thought I like Austin Butler. I'm like, oh, this looks good. The trailer looked halfway decent. And then when I saw that you had watched it, and then I looked it up on Kaleidoscape, I'm like, all right. And I see who directed it. I was like, all right, my expectations went up from there. And it is very entertaining all the way through, whether you're laughing or the tension, the surprise. There's a lot going on throughout the movie that I almost said lighthearted, but it's not. So that's that comedy part.
Yeah, it treads between, it strides across certain genres, doesn't it? It's a bit Pulp Fiction-y at times as well. I think it's got some, which again has got some comedy, and it's also got some obviously some more serious stuff, and some inept gangsters as well, and again a cast of various characters that are a lot of fun to spend time with and watch. And I mean, I particularly like the two rabbis, as it were, who I had now, by the way, I worked out who they were without, I don't think they're named, or if they are named.
Yeah, they are.
They're
named.
Yeah, but in terms of who's playing the characters.
That's what I mean. Yeah, it's
I
don't want to say who they are here, because it is kind of fun, because it takes you 2/3 of the movies to get close enough to see who they are. I had a feeling on one of them by the voice that you had early on in scenes.
Exactly.
Right. And then once you got that, but then seeing them later in the movie, you're like, oh my God. You know who they are once you get to that, but you're like, that's crazy. And it is, that's where it's like, it's not supposed to be comedic, but it is, because you know who they are in real life. So you're like, oh my God. So maybe that's where some of the comedy comes from. But yeah, it was
really good. I was never less than entertained with this. I thought it was a lot of fun. I really did. And again, if you know someone called Dwayne, then you will be referring to them and telling them to go away in this particular way from now forevermore. I was absolutely wetting myself with laughter when he opens the door and says, "Oh, Dwayne."
Oh my God.
Great. Yeah. Very funny. So there's definitely humor to it. And
the early interaction with Dwayne, where it was what you said, Austin Butler and what was it, Matt Smith?
Matt Smith, yeah,
in the hall, and
yeah,
they're both saying the opposite things. Right, they both tell him to go away, but like one's saying it not one way and another one's saying, but I mean, dead on. Like you have to back it up to hear. Like if you want to focus on what Austin Butler's saying, that's I think it's literally on that side of the screen, and then the other one is like on the other side, and they're like shouting it at the same time, but different shouts, different things, and you have to concentrate to hear what the other one's saying. It's so funny.
And the little callback with the little gangster who then opens the door and says it to him as well. And just rolling. It was so funny.
Yeah, it's so great.
But yeah, no, it's just a really entertaining movie. I was so pleased with it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. And it resolves itself really well. It's great. And in terms of the home theater side of it, now the video. The whole thing looks like it's been shot in shadow, like, overcast days and kind of, so it's quite a muted palette. But having said that, there is still a lot of detail in here. There's one shot of he's climbing up a fire escape, and the camera's kind of moving forward down this kind of city street, and the brickwork and the little bits of kind of foliage on the buildings and things like that. It was like, wow, it felt so three-dimensional. It looked really good. Well, to the point where it almost looked CG. It always didn't look really so detailed. And there's another shot like that later in the movie as well, which again was like, it almost took me out of it. It was so detailed. But I think it is a muted color palette. It's not, eye reactive HDR by any means. The whole thing is supposed to be of a particular mood. It's almost like a noir movie, but with and the color palette sort of following sync with that. But the audio I thought was really good. The Atmos is great. There is some really good music. In fact, some of the music in this I've downloaded since onto my phone because I really like the bass notes in it, and I was like, oh, this is quite cool. And so I've downloaded that. I thought this is a really good presentation of this particular type of movie. You're not going to pull this out to demo to your friends. You're not going to, this is not a demo disc by any means or reference or anything of that type, but it's a perfectly competent transfer and audio mix for this kind of film. And I thought it was great. I think it needed to be seen more widely. More people need to be aware of this movie. I think, and I wouldn't have known if Jordan hadn't mentioned it or flagged it up. I probably would have never got around to this.
I would have gotten to it eventually because it was on my list. Like I kept seeing it on, for purchase on Kaleidoscape. I was like, and it would, trigger me to be like, all right, I want to see that. I did want to see that one. But then obviously when you saw it, I was like, there you go, bang. And I had no hesitation in following up. But I would add to that, like picture quality, audio and stuff like that. I feel like, remember I said earlier with Rush Hour, it's like this audio, like the video quality of this, even though it is in 4K with Dolby Vision, I think they're trying to date it. I think they're trying to make it look like it was shot in 98. Like you're seeing, like they're not trying to give you that, amazing HDR experience. They're trying to, even the grain and everything in this, it was just, that's the way it was shot. And it was like, it's part of the storytelling. And the same with the audio. I thought the audio was really good, but it's not something, it's all part of the storytelling.
Yeah, it's not showy, is it?
No, and it's not supposed to be. And that's the part where, like, sometimes we'll critique a movie, the home theater experience of it, and we'll be like, wow, they dropped the ball on this. And it's like, I don't think they dropped the ball at all. It's part of it. It's what you're supposed to experience. And now for, like, if you're saying like, oh, well, you don't really need to see this in a home theater or a well-calibrated room or anything like that, it's like, well, no, if that's what you do, because that's part of it. It's like, if you're used to watching 4K HDR with amazing Dolby Vision, amazing, black levels and all of the detail and stuff like that, if you're used to that, that's why you have that calibration, so that when you go to a movie like this and the director intended for you to see it in this way, if your room isn't calibrated right, you don't get that difference. You don't understand. You just think they all look like this. So, it's just as important. But yeah, it's in a movie of this, I'd say depth, it's it's that important because I mean the backstory that they tell about this, they got a lot in the time frame. Well, it was under 2 hours, right?
Yeah, 140 something, 147, 148, something like that.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
So
mm-hmm.
I mean, they there was a lot of storytelling that went in there for the under 2 hour time frame. So
yeah, and Austin Butler again confirming that he is a leading man. He can carry a film. I mean, he's in just about every frame of this. Yeah. He's really, really good in this. Yeah, no, good film. Really recommend it. And again, very pleased to get it for like £15. Great. No complaints about that.
Yeah, I don't remember what I paid for it, but yeah, it's really good. Really good.
Nice. Can I just squeeze in a quick one? I know you want to get to your
which one would you like?
The dark one there with the red writing on it. Because I did tell Dom last week, I think I might have told him in DM, but I think I would review it this week. So dark, black thing, red writing, female on there with something in her hands. Yeah, just super quick. Yeah, please. This is a newer one, so just knock this on the head nice and quick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and this one, if Shane's still in the chat as well, this would be interesting to see if Shane has seen this too. So this then is Whistle, or Whistle. Whistle, which has come out only on Blu-ray in the UK, on disc at least anyway. Whether there's a 4K streaming, I don't know, but this is 1080p and in DTS HD 5.1. Movie from, I'm trying to think if it was last year or whether this is one of this year's ones. We got to that point in the year where there are 2026 movies on disc. 2025, there we go. And it's starring, as you can see there, Daphne Keane, who is the girl, as Dom says, who is X-23 in Logan, all grown up now.
That's who that is?
She's in this. Yeah. So this is how there have been a slew of haunted object movies. Okay, so we had Ringu, which is your haunted video cassette. We had Monkey, your haunted monkey. We had Annabelle, the haunted doll. All these kind of haunted items. And this is, wouldn't you know it, a haunted whistle. And so
it's an actual whistle. That's what she's holding in her hand there.
Yeah, that's what she's got there. Yeah, it's not a crack pipe. So this then is and the setup is there is this Aztec ancient whistle that falls into the hands of our would-be heroes, and if you blow the whistle, wouldn't you know it, it hastens your death. Whatever you were going to die of, you will die of almost immediately, rather than it take years from now. Okay. And that's the premise, and it's a modern horror movie, so you can write down how it all goes. And I wanted to talk to Dom about it to review it, because Dom was thinking of buying it. So this film is okay. It is cliched. It is a bit silly, to say the least. And actually, and I don't want to sort of put this too sort of meanly, the acting is a bit suspect at times as well, which is unusual for these kind of horrors, because normally, they get pretty young, teens or 20-somethings who are, competent actors, and they carry it off okay. And it's been like that since Scream, since 1996. Every iteration, they normally have very competent actors, but there are some clunky acting, and there is some clunky acting in this. But it's worth seeing because there is one particularly gnarly death scene in it, which I won't spoil, other than to say, that it is about as full on, and you just watch it open mouthed as to kind of how this goes. I don't want to spoil it, but everyone will know this when they've seen it, or if you've already seen it, you'll know what I mean. There is one particular death scene in it that is like, holy H. Corbett. What have they done? It makes the whole movie worth seeing just for that bit. So yeah, other than that, it's quite forgettable, but that bit's quite good. Now for 1080p, loads of it's at night. It is a horror movie, of course, so loads of it's at night time. You're going to want your TV calibrated properly, or your display calibrated right, because it is quite challenging at times. And of course, with 1080p, you don't have HDR to fall back on. So you want it set right. The audio is okay. I mean, there are some, usual bangs and crashes and creepy kind of stuff as they're walking around. Nick Frost is in it. Not for very long, but he is in it. He's obviously from Hot Fuzz and from Shaun of the Dead and other movies. and he's, you know, walking around a school at night, and you can hear things in the background and creaking doors and all this sort of stuff. So it's okay audio, it's okay video, but as I said, and I get Dom saying dismal reviews prevented him from seeing it, and I know why those were dismal, Dom. I get why they were, but there's this one death scene in the middle that is worth seeing it for. Now, whether you just rent it for that, that's fine. I bought it, but it would be worth renting it just to see this. And it is a particularly gnarly scene, and I recommend it for that if you're a sick puppy like I am. so there you go. But yeah, don't feel you need to buy it, anybody. There we go. I said it was quick.
Yeah, there you go. All righty. Yeah. So, all right. This one, obviously talked about it earlier. Let's get right to it. Yeah, I can't wait for you to see it. Let me just bring it up here. Here we go. Project Hail Mary dropped today on Kaleidoscape and digital platforms and Amazon product. Somebody in the chat earlier, I forget who it was, mentioned that maybe on iTunes it was like $30. I'm not sure about that. Being an Amazon property, not sure they would have sold it for cheaper to iTunes or something.
Well, if it helps, DJ, I have checked whilst the show's been on. Not that I didn't really know, but over here it's $19.99 to buy on iTunes.
On iTunes,
and that's 4K, yeah, Dolby Atmos, Dolby Vision, all the Dolby, yeah, $19.99. So I will be buying it very soon.
I will have to check that out. So, but yeah, it's so. I woke up. This got, to me, as I told you earlier, it had zero warning. There was nothing. It's like I've been looking and watching. I actually went on Blu-ray.com yesterday to see what digital releases were coming out today, and it wasn't listed. This got delayed, like we said earlier, like over a month from the digital release because it was doing so well in theaters. Let's see. Oh, Steve Ad's saying in the chat right now, he's like, disc release August 11th. So yeah, that's, so of course, you know, being Amazon, they want to get their digital money's worth, you know, and I don't blame them. If you're going to watch it, Steve, I'll definitely do an A/B by then of the digital release to the physical release.
Yeah. I won't be able to wait till August. I'll definitely buy it. Yeah. I'll get it next week when I work through some of the other bits I've got to see. But yeah, I definitely want to see that. And I'll buy the 4K when it comes out as well.
Yeah, it was, I saw obviously I downloaded on Kaleidoscape. So seeing the physical release, I am literally behind the scenes chatting with Shane. He didn't, you told me before the show, it's like, oh, did you see Shane? I was like, I hadn't seen it, but you had heard that he wasn't as fond of the home theater experience as I am. I love the movie. So that's probably going to taint my judgment, if you want to call it tainted. But I can back up everything that I'm going to say and like I said, I'm like Shane and I a little chat. I want to do a show. We're going to go back and forth on this. Home theater experience of this movie I thought was awesome. I'm not saying that it's it's like home theater experience of the year, but it's definitely going to be in my top 10. And here's why. We'll start with the audio because I feel like the way they use the audio in this movie, I think the video outshines the audio in this movie, but I think the way they use the audio, this is not a demo movie for audio. Okay. You're not, and again, kind of like what we were saying with Caught Stealing, like you need to appreciate how audio can be used to me. And that's how I appreciate this movie. It's like, no, it's not blowing you away with an amazing experience around the room and all of this. There is that in choice times. Okay. And without getting into spoilers for people that haven't seen it, they utilize it so well that it's very poignant when it does happen. Okay. And maybe when you and I talk about it later, maybe we can get into a little bit more of the spoiler stuff. Not even spoilers, but when the audio is used appropriately, there's a lot of silent scenes in this because it takes place in space, much like Gravity was, right? So there's a lot of silent scenes in this movie. And then when sound does come in, it is impactful. There is one particular scene where one character says to another character, I can save you or I can help you. And it is, I'm pretty sure my memory is correct. It is dead silent. And then there is, and that feeling that you get if you're trying to hold back emotion. And this movie has a ton of emotion. People that have seen it, it's like multiple times you're just getting emotional in this movie. Well, there's this one particular scene. It's like you're holding back the emotion because the character, I'll say, is Ryan Gosling it's a close-up of him, and he's starting to get emotional. So you're getting emotional because of the scene. And you get that pit in your stomach, and you're like, oh, just hold it in. I'm a tough guy. And you get that feeling. And then all of a sudden, there's this bass note that comes through, and it literally, as I said to Steve earlier, like toothpaste, this bass hits you and the emotion just comes up through your face. It replicates the feeling that you're already getting sitting in a silent room, and then this boom. I was like, are you kidding me? It was awesome. And then now I'm not taken out of the movie, but I'm like, the sound designers on that are like, this is where we want that to hit them right here. And you're like, it's just, and for stuff like that, it's not an action movie. It's not Ambulance. It's not where the sound's moving and all this, but for them to manipulate you with the score of the movie, they use that to manipulate your emotions, both in laughter and in, tears and everything in this movie. It's like, it is so well done, but it's very intricate, right? It's not, it's not Thor: Love and Thunder. It's not this big, to do. It's very, intricate and very much a part of the storytelling. All right. That's the audio. Dolby Atmos again. The video. Oh God. So the first time I saw this, I saw it in a Cinemark theater, and I was like, a little grainy, wasn't crazy about it. And I was like, and then I saw it at Showcase, same thing. Okay, that's the way they shot it. Saw it here, same thing. It gives you that film-like feel. But the HDR for this is actually like awesome. There are scenes, the black levels go so deep that there are times where there aren't pillar boxes, but you think they are because the picture pans out to the edges and it gets so dark that I'm like, where does this end? Where does my screen end? Where does my screen end here? And it is variable aspect ratio, native 178, but then it comes down to like a 240, and it's part of the storytelling. Now, for people that have, have a CinemaScope screen and you're going to crop it, you're going to lose that storytelling because there are scenes it's like the CinemaScope is flashbacks or storytelling from the past. Present is in 178. And when they go between them, there's actual blooming going into the black bars on purpose. And it's like the image as he's remembering and stuff, the image is actually bloomed. It's actually out of focus, and it bleeds into the black bars, which is really, really cool. But so you're going to lose that if you just watch this in like CinemaScope and you crop it yourself. But the black levels, the detail in the shadows, if you want in the darker scenes, it's like, this is a very dark movie because they're in space. So like inside the ship or inside where they're meeting and stuff like that, there's so much detail in there. But then what is on screen is well lit at times, giving you that sense of, 3D. But there are times where the black levels don't go deep enough. Okay. So, it takes place in space. So here's like, they give you the shot of space and all the little stars and everything. And you could see like space, it's not deep black, absence of light. And that you would expect it to be like jet black and then a star. It's not. It's a grayed background with all the stars. But that idea is like the way we see. It's like those stars are muting that blackness to our eyes. But if you look, when they show us a ship and the dark shadows of that ship, that black level is below the space black level because there's absence of light in there, and it gives you, it's an amazing, like, check it out. You'd be like, and there's one scene where one of the ships goes to the edge and you can see that it literally that black level just drops off. It blends in with the black background. Like I have velvet here. It's that detailed. And then all of the little things like you see in the poster here, it's like, look at all the detail in those posters. Go online if you're looking on YouTube and you see that poster that I have showing here. Look at all those little details. That's in the movie. Paul Hurt mentions the Batman, and I was thinking of that in this movie, but the Batman, the Batman, Matt Reeves, the Batman, that one it's a muted black throughout. This one has muted blacks, but then it has deep blacks. But it also has the brights, right? Like the halos, the spectrum, the rainbow colors. There's a lot of that. There's one particular scene where they jump from the past to the present, and there's a faint halo in the background. And then when they jump to the present, it is a vibrant, like, light spectrum across the screen, like blooming across the screen. And it is gorgeous. But again, a lot of this stuff is very intricate throughout the movie. It's just, I can't wait to watch it again. So, and to do that A/B, I think, I'm wondering, does it play as well through a stream? All those details that I noticed, going back and doing an A/B, obviously I'm going to be looking for more details. Does the stream hold up?
Yeah.
And I wouldn't be surprised it does, because we do see that, like, we're seeing streaming get that good. But you know, it was awesome.
And I'm sure that as an Amazon production, they had one eye on Amazon Prime from the beginning as well. So then no doubt they'll be thinking, well, we want to optimize this for streaming. We want this to look good on our platform when it reaches that.
Right.
So yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'll definitely get it for next week if I can squeeze it in to watch it for next week. I will. But
it's 2.5 hours too. It's not a short movie, but it's definitely. Jordan, he's like, so DJ, so you're saying your overall reaction to the home theater experience can be summed up as amaze? Yes, absolutely. Amaze. Fist your bump there. Jordan,
there we
fist
go.
your bump.
Yeah.
That's so great. All the way through.
Well, that bit that you mentioned,
that's not it.
That bit that you mentioned with the where again the one character says to the other, I can do this, I can fix this.
Yes.
That's the one in the theater where the guy that was sort of 3 or 4 chairs down from me just let out the loudest sob.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever heard. He'd obviously been holding it in, and it just went out.
What was interesting is I don't remember that bass note in the theater, because you're not getting that. You're not getting that punch to the chest. No. You're not getting that visceral feel that we get at home in the theater. It's like in most theaters, I should say, right? But the acting, the writing, everything that brings you to that moment, the silence, that you got in the theater, right? And that's probably why you heard the guy. There's a lot of that. So like which is part of the movie going experience too. It's like, if you're there and it's a communal thing, it's like you're hearing people get emotional. That's going to affect your emotions too, much like laughter. You hear other people laugh, you're laughing, right? And it's infectious. So at home, we're alone, but you get that punch. You're like, I mean, like I said, it was like toothpaste. You're like, oh my God. And I'm like, I got to take my glasses off. I'm like, oh my God, Jesus. It is that good. So, it'll be interesting. And it's like, interesting to talk to Shane, get your take, but I'd like to go back and forth with Shane, who, he's coming at it he's giving it a critical eye, not with the emotion and passion that I'm probably giving it, which is good. That's, but to be able to go back and forth like that would be fun. So,
no, I look forward to that. Yeah, no, like I said, I'm looking forward to seeing it. I'll definitely have it bought by next week. Whether I'll have had a chance to see it, I don't know. I'm going through a couple of series at the moment, and that's taken up a lot of time. And I've got a comedy horror that I want to see for next week as well. So that might take up, and I've still got a fair few to go through too. So I'm not going to promise to have it for next week, but I will try.
Yeah, just let me know, and then I'll, if you're definitely going to
Yeah, we'll
have
do.
it, then I'll do the AB. If you're not, then I'll just do all the stuff, and then no hurry, but I can't wait.
No hurry, but get on with it, Steve. Come on.
Have it for next week? Question? So.
Yeah. Steve Fix.
Steve Fix. So, all right. All righty. So that should do it. You got anything else, Steve?
I mean, I've got lots of others, but I can wait till next week. I've got a long day tomorrow of assessing, so
right.
gotta get off to bed. But I do have some other good ones to talk about. So plenty for next week.
Plenty for next week. Yeah, I'll hopefully. Still gonna try. It's gonna be tough. I'll try to get Mortal Kombat 2 in before next week myself, because if I don't get it in the next few days, the odds of getting it in a good theater, I'll just have to wait till it's at home. But
yeah, and it's not performing terribly well either.
So I'd probably get it sooner rather than later at home too. So maybe I'll have it by next week.
It is definitely possible. I mean, I've got another couple of horrors for next week. One other horror comedy. I've got another video game movie I've seen. A new. I briefly referred to a movie earlier that I've seen in 4K as well. I've got a horror TV series that I just started today that I'm 4 episodes into, which is, and I haven't seen it yet, and a lot of people have, but it's really good so far. So plenty. Yeah. Oh, and a series that I've been watching, recommended by the prosecutor friend of mine, the Netflix reviewer, who saw this series 18 months ago.
This one
just landed. No, that's not a Netflix one. That's HBO. That one. That's the one I was saying is really good that I started today. But the other one with the woman at the desk. It's a British thing.
Yeah, that's. I was gonna. Yeah, here we go. I just highlighted.
Yeah, I don't know if it's been released to Netflix in the US or not. It's
I didn't get a chance to look it up, but I did see that it was gonna.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, and he recommended this to me a few weeks ago. He said it's coming out, Steve. He said I saw it 18 months ago. It was great, and he said you're going to really enjoy it. And I must admit, I am. I'm nearly at the end.
Cool.
And it's really cleverly done. Very good. I don't know. I'd be curious to see what you make of it, Deej, because it's very British.
If it's available. Oh, do you know what I got here? Let me see. I'll throw it up behind me for you. Let me see if I can do that.
Something else British?
No. Yeah, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. Let me look on the screen here. I'll find it for you. Oops.
Yeah, no, I've seen that one.
Yeah, no, it's not. And that's not British. Let's see. Scrolling. This is all very interesting.
Yeah, that's not British either. What have you got? What have you got? I got. Yeah. One. Yeah, nice.
Yep.
So, have you not seen it yet? Or
I haven't seen it. I just bought it 2 days ago, and obviously, I had a couple other things pop up. I was like, oh well, but I'll try to get this one for next week. But it just dropped on Kaleidoscape this weekend.
4K, 1080p.
Let me look here. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's just HD.
Oh, that's fair enough.
HD 5.1.
I swear they're listening to us. Kaleidoscape are monitoring us because we talk about it. What are the odds?
I know. If Rush Hour drops this week.
Yeah. Well, yes. Yeah. Sorry, Dom, saying, what is it? It's the film 71. I reviewed it a few weeks back. The Northern Ireland thing with the British soldier that gets left behind.
Yeah.
It'll be really interesting to see what you make of that, Deej. Again, you come at it from a slightly different perspective than I would. And I think it'll be very interesting to see what you make of that. That's another potential Takeover Tuesday, it has to be said. Because there's a lot to unpack in that film again. So, I'll be fascinated to see what you make of it.
Yeah.
So John Brock saying again, what is it? It's 71.
Yeah, what is it? 71,
So it's on Kaleidoscape. It's on DVD, I think, only in the US. It's on Blu-ray here. But worth seeing. And Dom, if you haven't seen it, again, well worth seeing. Jack O'Connell is awesome in that film. And I've got another one of his movies that I've seen that I need to review as well, but it's in my queue here, which we'll get about it. Yes, that's it, Dom. Yeah, talked about it a few weeks back. That's right.
Yep.
So, it's great.
Yeah, it's funny because I looked for it. I would have had to rent it or something like that and hadn't gotten to it. And then I saw it drop this weekend. I was like, oh my God, it literally had just dropped under, let me look on the, It dropped on
One of
not
those
under new
films that-
releases. It just new to Kaleidoscape. That's what it was. Dropped
Yeah,
under
they're
new to
listening.
Kaleidoscape. Yeah.
It's the sort of film that the first time you see it will have you chewing your fingernails to the absolute bone.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really
It dropped
tense.
right after Guarding Tess.
Okay, well, I'm glad Ted's got guarded.
Yeah. Yeah. Shirley MacLaine and Nicolas Cage movie. Yeah. So that 71 dropped. Also, Fight Club dropped 4K Dolby Vision today.
Yeah, it's out here on Monday.
Yep.
Yeah,
Fight
that's
Club
another one that's
dropped.
been a bit controversial apparently with changes. Shane, there wasn't Shane. Don't think it was Shane.
I
someone
saw
did
a few
video
on,
YouTube.
online.
It's been not only has it been tinkered with in terms of the transfer, he's done a bit of a special edition. So there are extra things in the frames as well.
Oh, okay.
And I saw a picture of on the Blu-ray of an airport, a shot of a plane, and now there's a moon that's in there and clouds and stuff that was never there before.
Yeah.
So he's done some tinkering with it, not just the actual transfer itself. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I like Fight Club. I don't love it. It's one of those movies I watch once a generation. So once a format, and so I've got the Blu-ray, I've got the DVD, I had the VHS, and I get this one will be the same with the 4K. I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I don't think it's one I'm going to watch again, after that. So it's just one of those things. I don't know quite why it's never quite resonated with me. Most people love it, but for me, it's a movie that I admire rather than enjoy, is what I would say. But
it's $10 on Kaleidoscape. I think I might already own it, so maybe the Dolby Vision is. I can't remember, but it's Dolby Vision. What's the language? It's got to be 5.1.
Yeah, it's Fincher movie, so it'll be Master Audio. Yeah, it won't be Atmos.
Yeah, but it's, that one just dropped. So yeah, pretty cool.
Cool. There's the Mortal Kombat 2 to pre-order there. Look.
Yep, there it is.
No,
yeah,
no date to be announced. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, to be announced, but it's $40.
Don't do that.
I hadn't done that. Yeah. Not that excited to see it.
No, it's not worth $40. It's really not worth.
But you know what? Not for pre-sale, but when it drops, I'll be like, okay.
Oh, go on, man.
Because I probably would have. If I go and see it this week, I'll spend more than $40. Because it'll be $20 to get in, and then popcorn, drink, and a candy. I'm definitely looking.
I've never asked you this actually. In the US, are you allowed to take in your own food to US theaters or not?
It just every time somebody asks me that, it reminds me of I think it was Stephen Wright, the comedian. He said they don't like this was back in the 80s. They don't let you take in your own food. I mean, I said my argument was, the exorbitant prices are crazy. Why would I pay that? Plus, I hadn't had a good barbecue in a while. It's like cooking on a grill. But no, now it's like, it's rare that like you can walk in, like Joe and I have walked in with our drinks like this. You just walk in with water and you put anything. They don't really try to stop you. If you walked in with like a whole bunch of candy and popcorn, they'd probably be like, no. But if you walk in with candy in your pockets and stuff, they're not looking to throw you out. It's not, don't walk in with like a dinner. But it's like
I've been in theaters here where people have brought in a McDonald's, the full bags and everything.
I've seen that. Yeah, I had a guy next to me do that once, and I was like, "What the hell?" I didn't like that, and he's like, it distracts you because he's the bag and he's making a mess. It was like, that was as distracting as the guy that took his shoes off. And you got these feet sitting up on the recliner. I was like, oh. Like, yeah.
Well, this IMAX screen from the other night has got partitions behind each row of chairs, and they come up to above your head height.
Yeah.
So no one's going to be sticking their smelly feet right by your ear.
No, I didn't have that. No. This guy was sitting right next to me.
Oh.
And then you recline, and his feet come up, and it's like there's the big screen, and his feet are out, and I'm just like, it wasn't in view, but it was just outside. You can't not see it. It's just right there. And you're like,
there's little flies buzzing around them, it's distracting.
It wasn't good. Didn't like it at all.
Yeah, that's not cool.
But yeah.
Oh well, but so they do here that like they don't really care as long as you don't, again take the Mickey, blatantly do it. And again, I mean, I routinely will take my own candy, my own drinks. I just in the pockets, fine.
Yeah, a box of candy in my pocket or something like that, and then I'll buy a popcorn there. They have a good cheesy popcorn I like at my local showcase. So I'm like,
oh, there we go.
So
all right. Well, there we go then.
All right. That will do it.
I don't know.
Right,
Again,
now
whether 2
anything
hours
else?
and 10 minutes went.
I know.
I mean,
It's flies.
weird, isn't it?
Flies by.
Yeah.
Speaking of flies,
Mm.
flies by. So, all right, that will do it for this week. Next week, maybe there'll be a Takeover Tuesday, chatting behind the scenes here. Maybe Shane and I will hook up before then. We may do it live, and then I'll put it out on a Takeover Tuesday. I don't know. I'll talk to Shane about it. We'll see what we're doing. But yeah, thank you, everybody. Thanks for listening, watching, participating. Thank you to all my patrons. Really appreciate it. Anybody wants to join, go to patreon.com/BrightSideHomeTheater. You know the drill. If you don't, and you're interested in supporting the show, go check it out. Other than that, that'll do it. Right, Steve? We good?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Till next time, you know what you got to do.
Go push play. What he said.
That's right. Hey, Fred. This has been a Hey Fred production with theme music by Jeff Bernhardt and Throne Vault Productions.